Hello, welcome back to the video. The previous attempt was going well, and then my camera app crashed, so I lost all the footage. I hasn't been on in a long time. Yeah, I suck at recording, and apparently I've gained brain cells lately, and I haven't been able to think of anything stupid. We can correct that. Ah! Ow! Alright, but yeah. Since the creativity flow has been lacking, I will share trauma stories from my childhood and from recent times too. So if you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and take a big old dookie on that like button. And dislike this video. Do it. Dislike the video. Don't you dare like this video. Don't! But yeah. Trauma stories. Starting from the one that I can remember first. So, I was like a tiny midget, you see? And basically, we used to have this like big round table. It was big and round. That's all there was to it. Big and round. Also kind of flat, but big and round. It was like a big circle. More like an oval, but yeah. I used to run around this table like a little miniature psychopath. I can't say why for reasons. But I can say for a fact I would run around this table. It would be like an everyday thing too. I'd like run around this table like a little psychopath and jumping over this little toy rocking horse. So I'd like continuously run around this table. It was and just one day I was like running max speed around this table because like I'd be running at athlete speed in my eyes, and this would continue, and at some point in time someone opened a door because there was this little door attached to the wall, and it was in the direct path of my running, so it was normally shut, but it was open. And guess which face landed directly in that door? Bet you won't guess it. Oh wait, these are my trauma stories. Yes, you have guessed it. Yeah, that was my face. Like, I jumped the toy horse and then land face first into that little no swear words here. Sorry. I'm gonna cut back on that. But yeah, I'd land face first into that door, and it left a scar on my lip, as you guys would probably be able to see if I were in a light room. But you can't. So, joke's on you. You can't see my scar yet. But yeah, I landed face first, it was like bleeding, and I'm like, my face is bleeding, I don't like this. I had a bloody nose from it, my lip was bleeding. It was not fun. But that was only a taste of stupidity, because literally, like, right after that, I'm pretty sure it was a couple years, I tried doing a front flip off a table. It wasn't even a big table, it was just a small little table. Like, I tried doing a front flip off it, and landed directly on my head. And that's how I lost my first couple of brain cells, kids. Don't be like me. Yeah. But after that experience, I started going to school like, woo, I love school. And you see, I grew up around a Family Guy, so I'd be doing these weird things like saying, hi there, giggity. Doing a voice sort of sounding like Quagmire. Alright? And yeah, I'd talk to random people like Quagmire would talk, and it was just the weirdest thing. I got made fun of for this at some point in time by teenaged people. Yeah. But do you think I cared? No, not the slightest bit. Yeah, but no, I didn't care. But yeah. So then, literally like 1 year after kindergarten, I'm sitting here. I like seesaws. Woo! And I'm too brain dead to figure out how to get on a seesaw. So I'm like, no, no, no. I can climb on top of the seesaw. I can, and this person's like sitting on the ground, and I'm like, yeah, I can climb on top of the seesaw. And I was using this extremely unnecessary method, trying to climb onto it from like the bottom while they were sitting down there. And I would like be like this tiny midget just trying to like jump up and pull myself on top of the seat. I figured out how to get on a seesaw years later in my life when I didn't even like seesaws anymore though. Yeah. But yeah. I'd try this extremely unnecessary method and it got me catapulted. Literally. Like they tried to figure things out and eventually they got off or tried to get off, but they weren't able to, so they sat back down and this catapulted me. I did like a backflip and landed on my head. And I didn't, worst part is, it didn't even hurt my head. It hurt my wrist more than anything. So I'm like, oh, my wrist. And everyone's more concerned that I landed on my head. And I'm like, oh, my wrist hurts. And I'm just sitting here like, guys, my head does not hurt. It's my wrist that hurts. I hurt my wrist, not my head. Even though I clearly remember landing on my head. And this wouldn't be the first time this would happen either. Because, like, literally, like, maybe back, I did not learn from my mistakes. Well, I did. I learned a more efficient way of getting on. It was still overcomplicated, but it was more efficient. But, yeah. Instead of, getting catapulted off a seesaw. No! Sorry. Instead of getting catapulted off seesaw via retardism, I got catapulted off a seesaw via being too skinny and too weightless. Yeah, that's right. I'm too skinny. I'm not just skinny. I'm too skinny. Yeah, I was so skinny and weightless, though, that there was, like, this person 1 grade ahead of me. We would chill on the seesaw, alright? I would legit, like, I would bounce every time. You'd think that would be a red flag for me to get off the seesaw, but no. Little tiny brain me, Skittle-sized brain. Yeah. Yeah, this is exhilarating. Let's do it again. So this would repeat over the, like, weeks until eventually, like, I jumped off so hard, I catapulted myself off the seesaw and landed on my head again. Reoccurring theme here. Head trauma. I'm like, ooh, that hurts my head. And everyone's like gathering around me like, are you okay, man? Are you okay? Did you hurt your head? Are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I just landed on my head again. But yeah, that was not a fun time. And then fast forward a couple years later. Stupid old me again. I've been on a record streak of not giving myself head trauma, except for a couple times when I got punched in the face for getting robbed. Not saying any names, but yeah. Another story. I was like a tiny young kid. And then this big kid, like, I found a penny. He's like, give me that penny now! And I, like, gave it to him because he wanted to see it. And then I'm like, can I have my penny back? I was like, no! I'm like, where's my penny back? I got my penny back, though. It was fun. This is getting very out of line. And then here's some of my mental trauma stories that make absolutely no sense. Because, like, in kindergarten, I remember, like, I brought a straw to school. It wasn't a special twisty straw or anything. It was just an ordinary plastic straw. And someone grabbed it and broke it. And I had the biggest emotional breakdown over a straw. It wasn't even special. It was just a plastic straw. And some person broke it, and I had the biggest emotional breakdown. And I kind of feel sorry for the person who broke it, because they had to get me a new straw, and I'm actually upset about that. I didn't want a new straw. I had plenty of other straws. But I was having the greatest emotional breakdown, as if this straw was a loved one I've known my entire life. This was me. Just keep running a straw. I don't want a straw. I didn't break my straw. I love that straw thing is my mommy. Yeah, that was legit me. And I'm so sorry to whoever had to get that new straw. I feel retarded from that point on. Wait, if this video gets long enough, I should upload it to my other channel for reasons that I will not say. But yeah, that's one of my mental trauma stories that makes absolutely no sense at all. Yeah. But yeah. Back to physical trauma stories. Big ol' me again. Now I'm in the 6th grade. I can't possibly get any stupider to inflict more head trauma on me, right? Right? Ha, wrong. No. Wait, this happened in 7th grade. Oh, snap! But yeah. You'd think I'd have enough brain cells to not commit head trauma to myself again. But no, stupid old me does something stupid again to inflict head trauma on me. 'Cause this time, okay, we're in music class and we're reciting for a Christmas concert. But I'm barely holding on and barely paying attention and just lip syncing over here. My class is gonna freak out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe possibly get mad. Who knows? But yeah, I was over here lip syncing because I really don't like singing all that much. I'll sing every once in a while. But yeah, it was Christmas concert, and I'm over here lip syncing. And then finally the day's over, and he gives us free time to walk around in the gym, chat, do whatever. He shouldn't have given us that freedom. 'Cause I found a way to inflict more head trauma on myself. Yeah, 'cause stupid old me. I'm laying flat down on the ground, pushing myself across the ground with my legs backwards, so I can't see where I'm pushing myself. And then I'm getting, pushed along the sides of the bleacher. So I'm, sliding along the sides of the bleachers, and eventually, I just feel a big ol' thump. I'm like, son of a... And I'm like, no swear word. Can't say swear word in school. And, I feel this pulsating pain in my head. And then everyone's like, Evan, you're bleeding. I'm like, no, I'm not. Oh, I guess I am. Yeah. particular person, like I said, I'm not gonna say any names here, because I don't like naming people. And I suck at names. But yeah, particular person, uh, let's just call them Person McGee. Person McGee is like, oh my god, you guys, the nurse office, Sandy office, yes. Oh. Oh, no, no, I don't want to go there. The Sandy nurse. I do not want to see the Sandy nurse. I don't even like beaches. Where is this going? But they're like, no, you got to go see the nurse. And I'm like, no, I don't, stop rushing me. I can walk on my own. I'm not that brain traumatized. Wipes more hand off my head. Oh, I'm still bleeding. But yeah, I'm getting pushed. And I'm like chilling here. This hurt like a son of a. But I didn't care. I was just sitting here like, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I know my way around the school. But yeah, I have a scar on my head from this. But yeah, I had to sit through like the medicine getting put on my head. So they slapped some medicine on my cut, and they were like, what was that? Yeah, they slapped medicine and went, no, they did not go, I wish they did, but no. Instead, like, my parent was just about to pick me up, but they weren't picking up the phone, so they sent my parent a message like, Evan had an accident. Making it sound like I pooed myself, but I'm like, my head's bleeding. I did not poop myself. And yeah, I'm over in the office thinking, did she leave her phone at home? Where are they? So eventually, I have to get in a person's car and go home. And I went and I had a swell time. 'Cause my head still felt like it was bleeding, but it wasn't. But it probably was. I don't know. Like, and at this point, I had like dry blood all over my head and jacket. I'm like, can I just go home? My head hurts. And so finally, I get in the car, go brrr, all the way home. And cool. I'm home now. What now? I'm not gonna get touched, am I? A ghost! But yeah. Literally. And then the stupidness doesn't end there. 'Cause then this is probably way out of line. Why? Why is this so out of line? But yeah. The timelines here are a bit goofed up. I think before that though, we were doing archery, and that's probably when my first video was filmed. But yeah, I would proceed to do parkour forever. Like but yeah, nah. I would try fulfilling one of my lifelong dreams of doing a flip. And well, I almost did one, but I think you all know how this turned out. Yeah. I tried doing a flip, but I failed epically. Like, epically failed, as you can see in my I'm pretty sure it's literally my first video. But yeah, I failed dramatically, and it wasn't fun. It's always been a dream of mine to do a flip. Like, I don't know why. like, I've injured myself so many times attempting it, and yet I still push on toward doing a flip. But yeah, I tried doing a flip all the way in, like, either 8th grade or 7th grade. Yeah. And, well, I would keep trying this, because I wasn't about to do a flip on the gym's hard floor downstairs. And at least the mattress upstairs was somewhat soft, right? I'm just kidding. No, it hurt every time I landed my head on that mattress. But I kept trying. And I kept trying. And I came close a couple of times. And then other times I folded my neck in half. Yeah, that's literally what happened. So then, literally, in the locker room, it's unspoken what goes on in there. But yeah. I was like trying to do parkour on the benches. So I'm like over here trying to jump on the bench. Parkour! And I fold myself in half in more than one way. Like, I can feel my leg touch my head. And I'm like, oh. And like, I like, you know, one of those really floppy rulers? I felt like one of those really floppy rulers when that happened. And it stuck with me. Like, I slammed my head against the hard floor. It didn't really hurt that much. And this is when I learned I had a sturdy skull. But yeah, I slammed my head against the hard floor, slamming out the last of my brain cells, creating my channel. And just, yeah. I think you can figure out how that went. Like, folding yourself in half is not a fun time. You don't like that. You won't like that. I felt like a piece of dookie after that. It was not fun. I like cried myself to sleep after that. No, I didn't. But yeah. These are all some of my weird trauma stories that happened. Also, one more thing. I heard you haven't been unsubscribed viewers. How about you subscribe for me, will ya? Because if you don't subscribe, oh, it's gonna get worse, my videos. They're gonna get more and more random until you're traumatized. And then, my videos will be so random, you'll be failing all your math tests, all your science tests. You'll be failing all the tests because you aren't subscribed to me. And my videos are so confusing that you just lose all your brain cells. Your brain turns into a mush and falls out of your ears. That's how bad my video content will be. Where do I come up with this stuff? Alright, as I was saying, I turned out... Shut up, cough. I'm talking... Alright, I was saying, shut up, cough, I'm talking here. Alright, back to that. I turned out okay, I'm just gonna keep going. And alright, these are some just straight up horror trauma stories that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know if they're hallucinations or not either. Like, I swear, though, these are like some of the horror trauma stories. Yeah, I am deeply sharing all my trauma stories condensed into like 30 minutes. All of them. Not just one trauma story, I mean all of them. But yeah, like I was like a young kid, and I was like scared half to death of that room over there. I'm not scared of it anymore. I promise I didn't dig into the occult. But I had like a legitimate reason to be scared of that room. Because I don't know why, for the love of me, like, I'd always get this sense of dread in this room. I don't know what it was. Like, I'm getting chills down my spine right now. But yeah, something about that room. I just didn't like it. Ugh. But yeah. I'd be asleep. Like, it all started with, like, screaming in my head. I'll be walking, and then just hear a son scream in my head. Like, I'm like, oh, what's it? Oh, yeah. Oh, this was that. Who was that? Why? When? What? I'm just like a tiny 6-year-old at the time. Like, I didn't like that room with a passion. Like, I did everything I could to avoid that room. On the weekends, I would literally sleep upstairs where I felt safe. That's how much I hated that room. Now it's gonna get turned into a guest room, but yeah. Like, and then literally like seconds later, I'd literally like just walk downstairs like, okay, fine, I'll go out of the room. Like scared, poopless, because I can't say the sh word. I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to stop saying swear words. But yeah, I'd hear these screams and just I would be scared half to death because they would be so sudden out of nowhere. And then at some point in time, it devolved into me hearing people fall down the stairs. I'm like, stop! No, I don't like this. I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm just kidding. No, I sped off to the stairs because I thought it was Kill going downstairs. If you don't know, Kill is my sister. But yeah, I thought it was my sister down the stairs. So yeah, I just hear a I like hear a feminine voice crying. So I'm like on the stairs, rushing down there, and I see no one, and I'm like, did you fall down the stairs, Killer? Oh no, I didn't. Wait, and who fell down the stairs? Yeah, but I like strongly believed in ghosts. And I still strongly believe there's like some sort of demon in this room watching me, like staring intensely at me. Yeah, cause like, and then I stopped hearing these screams. They just stopped. Don't know why. They just stopped. I'm like, okay, they're gone now. Everything's fine. Starts having nightmares. Shadows, even shadows. Yeah, but like after that, like a year later, I would experience like a series of nightmares involving this shadow figure. I'd notice it, I'd basically like feel a crushing presence, and then it would go away. Like sometimes I'd wander around my house, sometimes I'd be sitting in my bed. Sometimes this creature would even disguise itself as my brother, who was laying in this bed. Well, not this bed, but this room. Yeah. Because I put the pieces together, because this was a point when I wasn't a brain cell-less child. But I'd be like, wait a minute, you aren't Ethan. And then, I watch it degrade into shadows, and I'm like, oh, oh, oh no, oh. And this thing would, like, extend some long, dark thing into my chest, and I'd wake up the next day, and I'm like, holy balls, what the, what, whoa, whoa. Yeah, and eventually this thing would start manifesting itself in the real world, because, like, days after, I'd experience, like, clawing things coming out from under my bed, and eventually I literally felt something pulling at my blanket, and I was, like, hiding under the covers like a scared child, And I'm hiding under my blanket, and then this thing's like, get out, and I'm like, I was not able to sleep that night. Like, that stuck with me. It's traumatizing. Like, what would have happened to me if I just let that thing pull down my blanket? I'm legit scared of that. Yeah. But then this creature just stopped one day, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Everything's fine. But it started popping up again. I'm like, I'm not dealing with you. No, go away. I don't like you. Oh yeah. Yeah. But stopped popping up for a time. And then one day, I just see a dark, shadowy hand grab my ankle. I can feel it gripping my ankle. And then it gets pulled back under the couch. I'm like, oh, what was that? Yeah, it was literally traumatizing for me. Because, like, I'm, like, now a 7-year-old. And I'm seeing dark, shadowy hands grabbing my ankle. And I'm like, no,